4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what?
Oh, yes, everybody. Welcome back to the Washington Wrestling Network podcast. I am Matt. He is Sam Otto. Sam, we have a wonderful podcast that we have been talking about for a little bit, trying to get through here, pound for pound. You know, last year that was a contentious point of some of the stuff that we were doing. We talked to each other the other night, and we decided to kind of rewatch some of our live streams. PSA, if you're here, go to our YouTube. Like, our live streams are really awesome, and getting a chance to watch them back, especially now, and getting to watch some of those matches. I mean, I'm just so happy that we were there. It was really incredible what we were able to get done in such a short amount of time, with the amount of information that we had, the amount of equipment. And then all of a sudden, you know, the top and shorting match, we didn't have the audio perfectly representative of what our brand is, but man, there was almost an entire fight breaking out over there. And then Nava came over and talked some crap about our pound for pound rankings, and I loved it, and I thought it was great. And so pound for pound is going to be a little bit of the discussion to start the day off here. Today, though, we have some news. You know, we're back from duels. I think it was very successful. I remember this time last year we had the duels coaches on, and it didn't seem like we felt very perfect about what we did.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Matt? Or is it me?
Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, man. I thought it was me, bro. I was sweating bullets there for a second.
I'm back, but we did not feel like we did incredibly well last summer with our duels. Seems like maybe we were a little bit behind the eight ball. This year, though, we were way ahead of it. Way ahead of it. We brought a strong team to duels, all the way from 14U all the way up to juniors.
Yeah.
We talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Luckily I had some time to be able to follow all the duels. Starting with the 16U, 14U boys. They kind of kicked us off like a week before everybody else got going. And like Matt said, it was an improvement from last year, almost all the way across the board, both styles, all age classes. In doing so, we were trying to provide you guys as many updates as possible. And thanks for following us throughout. And that's kind of what we're trying to do is, as we grow, is to try and keep you guys informed throughout these big events. And like I've always said, duels are like one of my favorites, man. It's like when Team WA comes together and we got the whole squad wrestling for Team Washington on a national stage and going out and beating big states and it was a great performance all the way across the board, from all boys, girls, all classes and everything. So yeah, run down some results. I'm sure if you guys go on our Facebook, you can scroll down and see some of this stuff. Obviously you can look this up as well, but just real quick, 14U boys, they kicked us off. 14U, 16U boys were first. They got 7th in the bronze copper pool in Greco, which put them at 15th in the nation out of 42 teams. Fantastic job. And then they got second in the red blue pool in freestyle, which put them at 18th out of 42 teams. So already better than half of the country, just hanging in there on the national stage, and really competitive matches too. It just kind of comes down to where you end up in your pool. And sometimes you don't really know if you're going to get a bad draw or whatever. And then you end up kind of tearing down into bronze copper or into red blue. But that's kind of where we ended up with the 14U boys. 16U boys, they were all Americans in Greco. They got 7th in the gold silver pool. So congrats to them. Hard work coming home to the state. Nice work. Brian Owen was their head coach. I know he was on the pod for episode 2. He's doing a great job out there in Spokane. And then they got first in the red blue pool in freestyle, which put them at 17th out of 39 teams. So not as good of a performance in freestyle. I think everybody kind of knows by now we're kind of Greco dogs out here. I think they probably wish they would have done a little bit better in freestyle there. But at least they got first in their pool once they ended up in red blue, and they finished with 3 wins in a row. Junior boys. This was one of the most fun ones to follow, given the squad that Sunner and Coach Kaler and Coach Sanders put together. They put together a fantastic squad, very, very deep. Some of these guys we'll be talking about in the episode today. Um, and Greco, again, Greco dogs, they go to the gold silver pool and they get 5th in the country, and they beat California for 5th and 6th, with some huge wins, huge upsets in that duel to get 5th place in the nation in Greco. The following tournament for them in freestyle, they go to the bronze copper pool and they place 7th in that pool, and that puts them at 15th out of 43 teams in the country. So, yeah, they grinded it out, man, and they had a really, really fantastic tournament, and I'm happy for them. And I just talked to Sunner on the phone, Coach Zuniga, yesterday on the phone, and he was I told him, I was like, hey man, like, bro, you guys are got to be proud of yourselves, right? Like, did you exceed expectations, meet expectations? He's like, no, like we went and we showed out. We did a good job, and it's all about growth. It's all about them improving, and then they did that. So hats off to the junior boys. On to the girls. Junior girls, starting with the junior girls, they got 3rd in the bronze copper pool, 11th out of 44 teams in freestyle, and then they wrestled Greco, and they get 3rd in the nation in Greco. Fantastic job. More hardware coming home there again. All American. 16U girls, 4th in the bronze copper pool, 12th out of 44 teams in the country in freestyle, and then they go and get hardware in Greco, placing 7th in the country in Greco. And then the headline, honestly, the biggest story of duels was the 14U girls, and that's what we'll end with here. They get to the gold silver pool in freestyle, and I'm not sure who they fell short to in the semifinals, but they end up winning their last match to get 3rd in the nation in freestyle. Our girls are coming. The young girls are coming, man. The state is going to continue to produce female wrestlers, and then the biggest one of them all was when they won Greco national duels, 1st place in the nation in Greco, 14U girls, coming down to the last match, where I hope I'm getting this name right. I think it's Denny Bips. She's out there in Spokane, and she beats a nationally ranked wrestler to win the duel for Team Washington, and they win the national title in duels for Greco. So overall, like I said, great performance all around for the state. We're happy to see growth. We're happy to see us improving. And is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plaques coming home to the state for our dual teams. So it was awesome, Matt. It was really cool to watch.
That's really awesome. I'm sorry for my technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on, but I keep cutting in and out here, and I think it's actually our hosting platform and their issues with Instagram. Once I kind of load everything all at once, it's like, oh no, we have so much, a lot of you guys are tuning in. We have a lot of people, enjoying our program, which is great. It seems to be crashing us a little bit.
Oh man, yeah, Matt is in and out. Hopefully we can do this episode with I can't do a draft by myself, so hopefully Matt will pop back in here. I got a couple more things here while we can hopefully get Matt connected. On the duels, we had all tournament team members that we wanted to highlight for you guys, and so first of all, the 16U boys. Miro Parkoffin, Dakota Anderson, and Dwayne Leslie all got all tournament team for the 16U boys. Junior boys, Mason DeRocher went 8-0. He made the all tournament team for junior boys, which is incredible. That guy's on an absolute heater right now. The 14U girls, Lanaya Seelig and Princess Saili, I hope I'm saying her name right. They both made all tournament team for the 14U girls. And then the 16U girls, Sage McCleary and Winter West, they both got all tournament team as well. Last but not least, Kyler Menza for the junior girls. She had a great tournament as well, and she made all tournament team there as well. So lots of wrestlers who showed up for the state and made all tournament teams, which was really hard to do considering the competition and yeah, man, it's really cool to see some of these individual performances, and it's cool to see how some of these wrestlers that are stepping up, considering some of the other wrestlers that are on the team who you might expect to be on this list, but that's what it's all about, man, getting wins for your team and scoring points and yeah, so 3, 6, 9 wrestlers that made all tournament teams across the board for Team Washington. So fantastic job there. Matt, are you good?
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's absolutely crashing down on me. I just did a reboot right there. I figured if I already crashed out, I might as well reboot it up there. I left you on a solo mission, Sam, which is fine. But I want to, did we touch on Westbrook, the movie? That's our premier sponsor. Westbrook, actor Mark, you had him on the podcast recently when we were at the Gut Check camp, but here's our little snippet here from Westbrook.
Westbrook, a wrestler's story. A movie for wrestlers, with wrestlers, by wrestlers.
For wrestlers, with wrestlers, by wrestlers, and someone you may see on our pound for pound list here. Did you get a chance to talk about Maisie?
Oh, not yet. That was my next thing before we did a little ad break there for Westbrook. And yeah, shout out to Greg and the Gut Check tournament that we went to. That was fantastic. It was awesome. It was cool to see all those faces and everything. And yeah, Greg was great as always. We're hyping up that film as much as we can. It's coming out in November, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, Maisie Elliott. She is one of the best wrestlers in this entire state, and she qualified for the Pan Am Games and goes to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil and goes and crushes it and wins it. So, I mean, we got to give her flowers. It's hard for us a little bit sometimes with some of these younger wrestlers. Like, we're pretty high school centric when it comes to what we do here, and that's kind of where we spend most of our time. And so if anybody has any inside information on 8th graders going to 9th grade, what school they're going to, that always helps. And
but I would say this, for the effort that we are putting in, we are leading the charge on the information of the incoming 8th grade group. And I don't know that anyone's touching us anyway, but but the people that we have helping us out, I really appreciate. And also the parents seem to be very happy to message us and let us know, what's going on and where their kid is. And I will tell you, give it a couple weeks. We just may have them in a different weight class or something. But with Maisie, can you explain what happened there?
Yeah, so
a little bit of insider information.
Well, the insider information was I heard through the grapevine. I won't name names, but some of our sources were saying that she might be going to Wyoming Seminary on the East Coast. And so, as
where Smokey was,
where Smokey was wrestling, yes, top 10, top 5 high school programs in the entire nation, and it totally makes sense. Like, she's one of the best wrestlers in the country, and so. It kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit, so we didn't really know where she was going to be going to school. And we had heard maybe one school, we had heard maybe another, but by that time we had already produced our rankings. And so, we missed it, but we do have her in our database, and we want to shout out Maisie and just give her her flowers on what she did internationally at the competition in Brazil. And she's crushing it, man. She's doing huge things for in her career already at a young age, and she is going to be a force and somebody to be watching here this upcoming season, this upcoming high school season, as she enters the high school stage. So yeah, shout out to Maisie Elliott. Nice work.
I am still having issues. Don't even know why. So we're going to have to get through this the absolute best we can. If I cut out, just go ahead and pick up where I left off, because I think what we're going to end up doing here, and I'll kind of describe what we're going to do here. So we're going to talk about 10 of the best pound for pound wrestlers in Washington State. we're going to start, we're just going to go back and forth. So essentially we'll try to, I'm not sure it's actually me. I have no idea. I really don't know what's going on, but I'm trying my best, But what we're going to do for our pound for pound draft is we're going to find a way to start number 1. We're just going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way down to 10.
Oh man, this is something we've experienced some technical difficulties before, you guys, but this is something different. So
Frustrating.
there he is.
That's getting frustrating now. It's like crashing me all the time. Anyway, Sam, you might just have to try to host this thing, because if I end up crashing out, I'm not, you know what I mean? It's midway through the thing. I can't even do anything here.
Man, what do you do like when you're like a news anchor, and you're like reporting the live news and stuff crashes, like like if you have like a plant, like how do you even like I
It's
can't do a
got to be
draft
our
if you're not
streaming
drafting with me.
software. I think it's got to be our software. It might be Google Chrome. I can't figure it out. But anyway, we're going to go back and forth.
Oh man, again, I don't know if you guys, if we have to like reset up this stream or not. Maybe we can pause it and come back, but I don't know if I can do a draft by myself. The whole idea was to have Matt come in and out with me, going back and forth, 1 2 1 2, and us draft our team. So let's hang on for one more second and see if we can get Matt back on, and then we'll talk about a game plan here. But I guess just some filler talk. There's a couple other things that we can talk about here in the meantime. The idea of this draft is a cool concept, just because we want to keep you guys engaged. We want to keep opinions running and stuff like that. But we also like have other ideas and stuff, and you guys can give us some ideas of stuff that we could draft. So different categories and stuff where we have a panel of 4. There he is. He's back.
You start. I'm going to freak out.
What do you want to do?
I don't know what's going on, but we'll just have to kind of run through it. It'll be one of the worst audio listens that you've ever heard, but we can at least get through it. I can give some names, and then you can elaborate, or I can get back on and elaborate. But who's going to start? Who's going to start at number 1?
Well, I don't know, because you might be gone here in a second. We would probably start our rock, paper, scissors, and then you'll be gone.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Ready? You can't see my thing, but I'll just tell you what I have. Okay, ready? Okay.
1.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors,
scissors,
shoot. I got scissors too. Okay, dang it.
We're not going to finish a rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, paper. God. You got okay. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, scissors. Oh no!
Get out of here, bro.
It's okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, rock. Oh my God, this is not happening live on air.
Hey, we're keeping the connection though.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I got scissors. Okay, you beat me. You
All
finally beat me there.
First overall pick.
You get number 1, which is I feel like this is the easiest pick of the day.
Bro, it was a little harder than I thought when I was looking at the big board. I know who I'm picking here. And let's just kick it off. Let's get it rolling while we have Matt here. Like, we haven't lost him yet.
Be ready to talk by yourself here in about 3.5 seconds, but go ahead.
All right. First overall pick. This wrestler was pound for pound our best wrestler throughout the season last year. Dog in the Yakima Valley. University of Arkansas Little Rock commit. He is ranked, I believe, top 15 in the country according to Flow Wrestling. 3-time state champion. I'm going with Justice Zuniga, number 1 overall pick. It's kind of a no-brainer. My next guy that I was going to be picking might have made a case for it, but it's just tough. Justice being a senior. Dominant, like undefeated season last year in the state. He gets second at sophomore nationals a year ago. 2-time Fargo All-American, competing against some of the best in the country every single time he wrestles. And I mean, what else can you say, man? This kid has shown his dominance throughout the state from start to finish, and not just on the 2A level. He goes to national tournaments. He goes and wrestles to the best of the best everywhere he goes. And he seeks out competition too, which is another reason why I think Justice is special. I think back to Northwest Regionals, when I was talking to Sunner, his dad, about Moses Mendoza being at that tournament, and Justice decided to go up a weight to go wrestle Moses. And so those are kind of the things that you just have to really respect with a wrestler like Justice. And then he also goes out and performs and wins in dominating fashion. We also thought that match with Dom Tom in the finals of the 2A tournament was going to be a lot closer than what we had expected, and maybe that was just us being naive. But we saw Dom Tom go throughout the whole season, dominating and beating everybody, and then Justice goes out there and majors them. And no disrespect to Dominic Thomas, I think that just goes to show you how good Justice Zuniga is, and we're just excited to see him continue his career. And we got one more year to watch him in high school. So yeah, #1 overall pick, Justice Zuniga.
Yeah, and before I start and glitch out here, okay, you might want to leave some meat on the bone for some of your analysis in case I glitch out here. I do apologize for that. I really do. It's like very unprofessional, it seems like, so I apologize. But ranked top 15 nationally on Flow, okay, already committed. I believe it's Little Rock, correct?
Right.
Beating top 10s in the nation, 3-time state champ, putting together one of the greatest careers in Washington State history.
In history, for sure.
In history, which is cool. Now, I'm going to talk to a little bit of the heat that this guy is getting, because you saw and everyone else saw what I've been saying from the very beginning is I like this stuff. I like when kids have an edge, okay? There's not greatness without a little bit of an edge. I don't think it's disrespectful at all when the spirit of competition gets to you. No issues here. I mean, there's no punches being thrown. The kid's standing up for himself. He's got a lot of people that talk a lot of smack about him behind the scenes. And you know what? When you're on the greatness scale, it's people are going to come for you. And that's how it goes.
Man, hopefully we can keep getting through this. But yeah, again, back to the big board here. We only have one pick so far. Matt's back. He's back.
Okay,
He's back.
I'm back.
All right.
So you don't get to be
you're not ever gone that long, which is nice.
It just glitches me out, and then I have to just relog in. I have no idea why it's happening. I literally restarted my computer. Anyway, when you're the king, people send for you, and it comes for you. And I don't know if what's going on with my stream, but I hope that Justice does feel vindicated a little bit, because I don't believe we had him #1 pound for pound.
Matt is talking about our pound for pound rankings. This is absolutely hilarious, you guys. He's talking about how he wasn't sure if we had them had Justice #1 in our pound for pound rankings to begin the season, and he might be right. I'd have to go and look back, but I think for the majority of the season he was #1 overall.
Okay,
maybe Laz jumped in there, I'm not sure, but he's back and he's gone. So up next is Matt's pick, so hopefully he pops back in here. We got a lot of viewers, Matt, so we're hoping to get you back here, because you are up, you're on the clock, and there's already one wrestler off the board. And shoot, guys, comment, give me some stuff to talk about, because I don't want dead air. I want you guys chiming in here, giving us some stuff to talk about if there's something else that we can cover while Matt is trying to get back to stuff. I think I have some more stuff on our show sheet here that we can talk about. Obviously, Fargo is coming up. Put in the comments, you guys, if you guys are wrestling at Fargo, we want to follow you. We're going to be able to post some updates, post some highlights on that kind of stuff, and as it goes along, and we're just super excited to be able to follow that tournament and see if we can bring home some hardware, just like we did in the national duels. I think Matt is trying to get back on here. Give me some stuff to talk about, you guys. I don't know what else I'm gonna talk about here until we get our next pick going. Maybe we'll bring Trevor on here, you guys. Maybe we can see if Trevor wants to be a guest picker. He's our background guy. We got Matt back. I don't know. No, we don't. We don't. He's not back. Let's get him out of here.
All right, am I back?
You're back.
Okay, I'm on my phone now, and hopefully that we'll be able to stay in here. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here, but I am in my little area here. Did you get a chance to tell the number 2, or are we waiting for me?
No, you're up. You're on the clock.
Cesar Quintanilla, okay, ranked number 19th on Flow Wrestling, 3-time national champ. No disrespect, or 3-time state champ. No disrespect to Willie Ross, but you know the finals match that they had.
Just rewatched it. Yeah.
It I think Willie's was injured. He's not saying anything. Absolutely not. But it wasn't really as close as I'm sure he wanted it to be. And I was watching with another coach when we were watching that match, and the thing that kind of came through that was kind of the most, I guess, polarizing thing is that it didn't seem like Cesar really wrestled in the match. He was not really attacking. It didn't seem like he was wrestling his match. And I think that when Cesar really gets going, then that's when you start to see really where his star can rise to. I just don't know that I see it as much as I'd like to. And I don't know, maybe we could get him back on the podcast, because we did have him going into Fargo last year, but it just seems like maybe he was dealing with an injury. Maybe there was something we don't know, because I'd love to see Cesar go out there and wrestle every match like he's going to leave it out there. And, sometimes we got that from Justice too. After the match with Al Sal, Justice came over and he spoke to us, and he was like, hey, I really didn't go early in the match. I started slow. And, when you get to this level where everybody's got your head on a chopping block, it really feels like they pull back a little bit, But what I'd like to see from these top 2 guys, because they absolutely are the top 2 guys, I'd like to see them get after it this year and really kind of put it out there on the mat. What do you think about Cesar?
I think Cesar, I mean, obviously him being ranked nationally by Flow Wrestling is telling, right? So they look at stuff, they look at quality wins, and they look at how you're performing nationally. So he obviously is right up there with some of the best in the country, being ranked in the top 20 in the country for high school wrestlers. 3-time state champion. I think he lost at Tri-State to a kid from Idaho, which was surprising.
It was Neville's.
And
if I believe that was the match, or maybe the wrestler. Gosh, I don't know if that was exactly true, but I think if we had Justice on the podcast, our very first or second guest that we had on, I think we talked about how he got scored on, or the ref had stopped the continuation. I think that was against the same guy. And I think he lost. I forget the score of the match, but remember when I texted you, I was like, oh my God, Cesar lost. And it shook, you know what I mean? That was such a shaking of the state at that time. And then Owen Marshall went on to win. That
would have been fun to see those 2 wrestle for sure. Yeah. But Cesar, to me, you think about a guy that is just so disciplined in his craft. He's been wrestling since he was a young kid, and kind of this is family to family. This is apples and oranges, but my family, I had 2 older brothers who were very successful, state champions, state finalists, and then I was the youngest, and Cesar's the youngest out of multiple 4-time state champions. And I think that it just reminds me of myself a little bit, where he doesn't really quite open up and do as much as he probably could. Not that he's wrestling not to lose or anything like that. He is so technically sound, and he just knows how to get dubs. and that's why he's a 3-time state champion. I don't believe he didn't have any losses within the state last year. And then goes and beats a guy like Willie Ross in the state finals, which was one of the most anticipated finals matches of the entire state tournament. And just, I wouldn't say he dominated the match, but he controlled the match like from start to finish. And that just goes to show you how good Caesar is. And and just a great kid too. So
I love it. Keep the comments coming, guys, because this is an open forum conversation here. But what we're doing, just to kind of re-explain this, is we are going to hold on. Here we go. We got right here. So you guys think Washington? This is from Bobby Brokenshire. So you guys think that Washington kids tend to struggle at the national and college level because how we are officiated in Washington, not allowed to hard hand fight, bottom wrestling, etc. That would be a great conversation to even ask the real ref.
That is a really good question, isn't it? If you like,
it's been talked about for sure, because you know what, and I'm not going to tell any names. I don't mean to out anybody. And I really don't want to, so I won't say a name, but when I was arguing at our preseason officials meeting, because I'm a coach, you're a coach, but we got a chance to meet with some officials in the area, and we were discussing, wrestling matches, obviously, but like, at what point we were talking about, does an armbar become a chicken wing, or you know what I mean? And we were discussing the level of difference between a state guy. Maybe a state guy's wrestling a JV guy, so we got to protect the JV guy. But then I'm thinking to myself here, and I'm thinking, but if it's not illegal, what are we protecting here? And I think that that's what's happening in the state right now. Absolutely, based on this question right here, the officiating is basically saying, hey, we're going to stop this here. We're going to stop this aggression. We're going to stop how these kids wrestle, because we think that there's such a discrepancy between the level that we have to. And I don't believe that referees should be getting involved like that. To answer the question, Sam, what do you think?
I don't really know the answer to it. I would imagine if I was a betting man, I would say that every state, every region in the country probably refs a little bit different, right? Like to a certain extent. I don't know how vast of a difference that is across the country, but I think it goes to show you that guys like Justice and Caesar, who are our top 2 picks here, they're going and wrestling all over the country all the time, and so they're getting those different looks. They're getting different styles. They're getting different referees. They're getting different stuff from all over the country. And I think that's how they're able to expand their game a little bit more, and then hone it in when it comes to wrestling in our own state. And a lot of these top wrestlers are continuing to wrestle nationally and do that kind of thing to kind of adjust themselves a little bit. But yeah, absolutely. It's a really good question, and it'd be great to ask Eichley about on the Real Ref Report, and is to kind of see what because he's reffing nationally. I think he was just down in Florida or somewhere down there doing a tournament and reffing down there. But yeah, it's great discussion, great question for sure. So, am I up?
Yep, you are now up. This would be your second. Okay, now the comments are really coming through here, guys. I love this. Go ahead, Sam, with your number 2. Remember, we are kind of going in a list. So ideally, if Sam had Caesar number 2, then he would be picking off of his list from his 3rd best guy. But we are not power ranking these guys. Sam's picking 5 guys kind of in concession. Right. I'm picking 5 guys, and then we'll see and pick a team of 5 on each side, and you guys will get a chance to vote on it. So.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, with my 2nd overall pick, Team Sam, I'm gonna go Laz McEwen, and man, I feel like I didn't. Maybe me. I don't know if we didn't give Laz enough love from the beginning last season. I remember. I think we might have ranked him number 2 going into like the really early preseason rankings, and we just had a bunch of people down in the in the South Sound down there chirping at us, being like, why would you not put him at number one? And it's like, well, we don't know enough about him yet. And that's probably just because we're not like as in tune with the youth scene as maybe we should be. We will be more in the future. We are more now, but we're at the point now where we understand how good Laz McEwen is. You're looking at a guy who did not lose an entire match his entire high school freshman season, and wins state in dominant fashion. Granted, he is at 106 pounds, and that's something to be said about his weight. But this is pound for pound, and the way that he won, the way that he was able to dominate every single match was telling about how good he is. And then, like on top of that, I mean, he was already ranked previously by Flow Wrestling in the top 20. He's out right now, which is crazy to me because in this last season, he went to double overtime against Samuel Sanchez, who's ranked number 3 in the country by Flow Wrestling right now. And some could argue that he should have won that match, given some of the calls that were in overtime. I think he had an escape and they called it back, and then it went to double overtime. So you're looking at a guy who is right there with the guy who is ranked number 3 in the country by Flow Wrestling, Fargo All-American. And just, I mean, what else can you say about Laz, man? He gets it done. And not only does he get it done, he even if it's within our state and he's wrestling a tough guy. I think who did he have in the finals last year, Matt, in 3A? Was it Noriega?
Oh, geez. Now you're just going to call me out like this, like I had it right in front of me or something.
I think it was Noriega. No, that was, maybe that was Windsor.
No, that was.
Oh, no, he had Karimi. He had the Kent
Meridian
kid.
Right.
Right. But I mean, Karimi's an older kid, and Laz as a freshman, goes out there and dominates the match. So yeah, I mean, Laz's future is so bright. We'll see how he grows into his body. I know his older brother Zeke is a big guy. I think
big guy
wrestling at like 65 in college. So I think Laz is going to be really interesting to see how his body develops and everything. But like when you're talking about like how dominant he was in the state, and then also like what he showed he can do on a national scale, Laz McEwen has just been crushing, man, and it's going to be fun to see where he ends up.
Yeah, Laz McEwen was my number 2, so you stole, or my next guy in line. You absolutely stole him. It's going to be tough this year in 3A, I do believe. I know that in 4A there's a little bit of a logjam too in some of these weight classes, but when I went down my list. And I got a surprise in here. So you guys just wait. I have a surprise in my top 10. But actually, what? Maybe I'll wait a little bit to talk about this guy. But we will get to, I hope, this year, we will see a lot of these head-to-head matchups happen. The way that the WIAA has kind of centered this state tournament, I think is a little bit backwards. Hopefully, the WIAA guys that we like aren't listening to this podcast right here. But, last year, it was not a good sign that they allowed guys to rechange their records and add official stuff the day before, the week before state. And so unfortunately at 106 and 3A, the harder side of the bracket was all on the south side of the bracket. Laz McEwen really just walked right on through to the finals, and then Karimi, who we imagine would be the guy that would come through there. I don't know if Karimi's going to stay at 106 or go up. He's been there for a little while now.
Yeah,
right?
He's never wrestled anywhere else, so I think we were talking about that.
But I will tell you this: when you say pound for pound, that really starts to talk to me a little bit.
Yeah,
when you talk about it, and let's just say 10 pounds heavier for a Laz McEwen is 10% of their body weight. You know what I mean? So when you're getting up in these weights, 10 pounds can mean a lot. Laz McEwen for his weight class, 106, maybe 113, 120, it's tough to say that any 113 pounder right now in the state of Washington can come up against Laz. you know, when you talk about pound for pound, I mean, that's what that means, right? So Laz absolutely deserves his spot in the top 3 of the state of Washington. And I think that I would love to see a couple of these matchups in 3A that I think might come through here, because I think you got 2 kids that are going to be in these pound for pound conversations that might end up at 113 pounds and get a chance to see each other, Sam. So I guess I'm next, right? So
You're up, buddy.
we got the graphic being done by our team of Russian scientists, putting the graphic up there for us so that you guys can follow along. This one's where it gets a little bit tough for me, and I wouldn't say that it's tough because the guys. It's just tough picking between 2 or 3
I
of
know
the
who you're
guys
picking here.
Okay, relax. You don't know nothing, pal.
Yeah, I
Okay?
do.
You know?
I'll tell you if I was right or not when you pick them.
I think just based on off-season wins, preseason wins, the win that just happened, I think I got to go Owen Marshall.
That wasn't who I was expecting you to pick, but
yeah, I
elaborate.
don't think it
Yeah,
was.
I love Owen Marshall, man. Give it to me.
Multiple-time state champion, preseason national state champion, or a preseason nationals champion. I do believe he went up to wrestle Dom Tom in the Ording Tahoma duel, which you can watch live on our YouTube. Did he win or lose that match? I forget.
That's his only ding.
Yeah, and going up in weight, to wrestle, when you could tell the difference in the size. It was right there. You could tell it. I believe there was a shoulder issue or something like that. But, I mean, again, and guys, they wrestle each other all the freaking time. I mean, 1-0 matches, 2-3 matches going all the time. But then recently defeating Bryson Dolly, getting the win over the guy that beat Caesar. I just think putting the collective together here and the multiple-time state championship, I know that the next guy you're going to pick deserves this spot too. It's not really there, but it's pound for pound, and it's quality wins, quality opportunities. And in my opinion, Bryson Dolly is one of the best wrestlers in the state of Washington, and just recently got a victory over him. Obviously, Bryson may be up in weight a little bit, but I mean, they train with each other all the time. Owen Marshall's my pick.
I love it, man. Yeah, Owen is a dog, man, and yeah, he put himself on the line. I think they went into overtime or double overtime with him and Dom Tom, and we had talked about Dominic Thomas earlier when my first pick was Justice Zuniga, and how good of a wrestler he is, and he goes out there and beats Owen, but in a very, very close match, and that honestly could have gone either way. There was a couple times there, I think, when we were at that duel, where he had a takedown right on the edge and he was trying to drag his toes in and he didn't get it. So that could have been flipped and he could have had an undefeated season. And I mean, Coach Feist kid, Matt Demon kid, around some of the best, and young still too, right? He's going into his junior season, preseason nationals champion, absolute dog. Excited to have him for 2 more years, which is really cool. So I love the pick, Matt. I think it's great. I'm with you on there. I'm going to pick my next pick. This is who I thought that you were going to pick, and I was going to get really upset if you picked him. But I am going to go over to the Ording Cardinals. Drum roll. I'm going to pick Trevor Anderson, which is one of your favorites, Matt. I know
it's
he's
my guy. T. Anderson, my guy. I was just hoping maybe you'd slide somebody else in there just so I can get a T.
My
Anderson
list is looking really
squad.
good right now, man. So, okay, here's the only thing with Trevor Anderson, that the only reservation that I had is he hasn't, I don't know if he's hurt. I have no idea what's going on, but he hasn't been wrestling freestyle and Greco. His little brother has, but he hasn't. And so it's tough with some of these other guys who are going out and wrestling at duels, Northwest regionals, heading out to Fargo. Maybe Trevor will wrestle at Fargo. I don't know. But when you look at the actual high school season, it's you can make an argument for an MVP type season that Trevor Anderson just had, and it's because of how many wins he had, not losing a single match, but it was beating everybody. And I think it was like, I don't think he had just a decision. I think he was majoring everybody. And you're talking about fantastic wrestlers like Crew Lambro, who he goes out
Kasich, Lundqvist, Sam Valencia, Steve Romero,
incredible quality wins, like
teched
all
Crew
over the
twice,
place.
I think.
Yep. And then just man, his style is just like really fun to watch too. That dump that he has from his feet, where he gets an elbow and he kind of hits like that mid fireman's, and he just ranks on that elbow and pulls you down. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times he took people down with that same move. Nothing you can do about it, man. It's like, well, do you want to tie up with me? If you tie up with me, I'm going to hit you with a dump. And then on top, that guy is an animal on top. Like, he will just, he's just relentless on top. He gets turns, he gets points, he racks up big wins, majors, techs all the time. And yeah, it's crazy to me that we didn't start this the year before. I think one of the biggest stories that we probably would have taken away if we started this a year earlier is how he didn't get a state title his freshman year. Matt, you could probably speak to this because I think Andy Eichley was reffing maybe that semifinals match. But yeah, so he gets his first state title last year as a sophomore. But the season that he had last year was incredible, and he's just such a unbelievably disciplined wrestler. And again, we get him for 2 more years. He's entering his junior season. Do you want to give me your fanboy stuff on Trevor Anderson here, Matt? Because I know you love him, and you got to talk to him. You guys had an interview, I think at Viking Invite or somewhere in there.
Which you can also go back and watch. You can also go back and watch our Viking Invite live stream. Some incredibly great matches. But you know, this was a rigged game. You know, it's like one of those like computer outcomes where if you get the first selection, you're gonna end up winning, because if you could catch Justice and Laz, it's going to be a tough, it's going to be a tough fight here for me to continue on my top 5. But Trevor Anderson, man, the kid is good on top. The kid is good exactly every single place you want to be good. I talked to him at the Viking Invite. Super, super respectful, mild-mannered kid.
Yeah,
he is a quiet assassin. And it's tough to watch because it's like Crew Lambro's a state champ himself, incredibly great wrestler. And even Crew, before, when I interviewed him, is like, man, I just got to keep him from getting on top of me, and then, but when he gets on top of you, he just he strangles you, and he's so unrelenting. And when you're that good on the top, it's tough to lose matches. I mean, it really is. It's just like if you're incredibly good on your feet, you can find yourself up 7-0 real quick. And if you're a great wrestler, like all these kids are on our list, this is kind of what I was talking about with, Caesar, is like, I'd like to see going from 7-1, 8-1, 10-1 matches to pins, converting your extended win to the tech falls, to the pins, and actually getting to that area, because that's what Trevor Anderson is doing almost every wrestling match he's wrestling. And it's really tough to bet against the kid. He has I almost went Trevor Anderson at 4. You know what I mean? At my very next kid, almost took him over Laz if I had the opportunity to.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, do you remember, Matt, when we were at Edmonds Invite last year and we were doing the live stream? It was our first live stream that we had ever done, I think, right? Was Edmonds, and it was just basically Tahoma and Ording in every finals match, sprinkling a little Aiden Larson from Hermiston there as well. But like, I remember that match was like the one that we were like, oh man, like you got Crew versus Trevor Anderson, and it was like, again, no disrespect to Crew, but that was the Trevor Anderson show, man. And it was like, that was
stunned people. It really did. I think there was a little bit of like a collective gasp from the crowd, because I don't think Trevor Anderson was known like that, or at least not put on that level. And I think that a lot of the crowd just completely was flabbergasted at how well he handled Crew. And
I think it was like you look at it on paper, him getting third in state, and then Crew being I think a two-timer at the time. It was like, well, this is I mean, we know Trevor's really good, but like we're also anticipating a really close match. And it just wasn't. And kind of maybe a styles clash a little bit there. But like how do you wrestle this kid, dude? Like
you have to
I don't,
beat him on your feet. You got to beat him on your feet.
you can't tie up with him though.
Well, no, but no, you can't. But I feel like a guy like a Trey Haynes, somebody from the outside who wrestles really well from the outside.
Angles and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And then, hey, I haven't seen much of him on bottom. I mean, I would like to see him.
He wasn't ever on bottom.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to see him wrestle somebody
or in close matches. Like,
top.
How do you handle adversity? How are you? What does it look like when you're down, or you give up a takedown, or maybe you get thrown to your back or something like that? And those are some of the telling moments too with some of these guys. It's like the comeback wins and the grit and stuff like that. And there's just sometimes we're not able to see that at the high school stage in our state because you got a guy like Trevor Anderson who's just rolling for competition, and there's he doesn't really have those opportunities. So Paxton Cunanan in the comments.
Yeah, I love the comment. Yeah, TJ, aka the Mauler. I mean, that's perfect. That's him.
I saw a comment earlier from Spencer, who's the assistant coach there at Big Bend. Samuel Valencia is committed to Big Bend, so that's super cool. I'm really excited to see how Big Bend continues to roll in some big recruits. Yeah, there you go, future Viking. And by the way, quick break in the draft here. We are going to be officially heading to the Big Bend versus North Idaho College duel at Tahoma High School this year, barring no cancellations like last year. I know we really hyped up that last college that we were at, but it's a go. And we got confirmation with Coach Feist and Coach Booth and Coach Dickerson. And man, it's going to be really, really, really fun to watch our own single community college, junior college wrestle against a top 5 JC in North Idaho, which has a ton of Washington wrestlers. So it's going to be so much fun, man. I'm really excited to get back there and get out to Tahoma for that college duel. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to keep promoting that one, and we want to pack the house for it. So I think you're up, Matt.
I am up. Again, it starts to get tougher and tougher kind of as you get down here, but I'm going to go Mason DeRocher. He absolutely, yes, no, I got to take him, but the problem is now it's a layup for you almost on the next side here again as we continue to go down here.
So
the DeRocher bros, we had them both on, twin brother DeRochers, what I like to call them. But Mason Surgeon right now, pin tech through state. This is exactly kind of what I was mentioning before, is finding ways to extend these wins from just 10-1, 15-5, which is somewhat of a I'm just saying, I had the Denny Bibbs call early on. Trust the Cunanan call now.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Ben.
I love that.
Appreciate that.
Greco phenom, yep, from Zuniga, and he is backside ranked top 10 in Greco from that outlet that we saw recently, which is cool. Hopefully we can shout out those guys.
Can I say something really quick on that though?
Yeah,
I did not expect either Jonas or Mason. I mean, look, they trained down there at Cobra All Stars with Coach Sprague, and they obviously are training freestyle and Greco all the time. But if you think of Mason and Jonas, like, to me, what stands out is their leg attacks. And like, so him going 8-0 in Greco at duels, it wasn't like shocking to me, but like, I was like I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, wow, like that's crazy, bro. Like that he's able to adjust to upper body and get it done. I'm like, that's why to me, he is so tough, bro. It's like you go 8-0 in Greco, but then you have this whole bag of leg attacks that like at any given time. So go ahead, keep going, bro.
Well, no, not to mention that, but 35-0 heading into state. I mean, untouched, really. Getting there again, untouched. I mean, it's just tough to say. And then we kind of theorized a little bit that the DeRocher brothers are about the same size. And so to me, I think it's possible that you might start to see why Mason is the heavier one, because he may have more of that Greco in the bag, more of that body weight dominance in the bag. It's probably possible that he is able to get to 32, but because of his skill set wrestles up. Who knows? I'm just theorizing that, but he's untouched. I mean, to me, again, I got Owen Marshall up there, but to me, Trevor Anderson, Mason DeRocher, and Owen Marshall are three guys that I think it's really a pick 'em of what you like. I went with Owen based on the significant win category, preseason nationals, getting the win over Bryson Dolly. What I'd like to see, and it seems like it's going to happen this year, is Ording Tahoma coming back together again. We should be able to be there. And man, I would love to see Trevor Anderson, Owen Marshall. I'd love to see Dolly, Trevor Anderson, or Neri Rivas maybe sneaking in there at 120 or who knows what's going to happen there. And it sucks I can't get Neri on my top 10 list. I'd love to.
You know what's crazy, bro, is like nobody in that range graduated. So from Ording it was, well, I guess AJ was at 38.
Salguero, yeah. 32, I think.
But 32 is Dom Tom. He's back. And then Harding was at 57, I think, right? Or 50?
Up higher, yep.
Yeah. And so like that duel is going to be just as good as it was. And I know Ording, kind of walked away with that one pretty handedly, but it might be a little tighter this year, man. We'll see. Yeah, for sure. Paxton Cunanan love, dude. You got him in your rankings in 3A?
I've got him in the rankings. Yeah, somewhere in there. He's definitely in there. He was a guy that I loved because I actually think that I was a little ahead on ranking him before we got to him getting up there. And so, it's just kind of one of those things where right now we're in the summer list and we're in our top fives. And I'm trying to look it up while I'm talking.
Oh yeah, you didn't. It's all good.
Yep, I got him sneak peek. I got him top 3 at 150 pounds coming soon.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah, we've been doing our preseason way too early rankings. Hope you guys are enjoying those. And yeah, we're going to keep pumping them out for the next, I don't know, how many weeks left do we have? We probably are in week 4, so we got 10 weeks.
We got a while. We're only on 32, so
yeah.
We'll be seeing you guys for a little bit. But I think that right here, these last 2 picks on either side of our squads here, I think are going to be a little bit of the tipping point. I think you're top heavy for sure on your squad.
Shoot, am I on the clock right now? Because now
you're on the clock.
Rambling. I'm torn between 2 wrestlers right now, and I don't know who I'm going to pick. Okay. I am going to pick a wrestler that just had a slightly better performance at national duels than the other wrestler that I was going to pick. And I know that this is folk style rankings. This is our pound for pound for the high school season. But this wrestler is getting it done at an upper weight. And he's been doing it at an upper weight since his freshman season. I think he's probably only lost maybe 1 or 2 times ever in his high school career. And nationally ranked super high in the pin rankings, the pin national rankings for USA Wrestling every single time. He's always ranked high when it comes to US Open, when it comes to Fargo and all that stuff. And man, it's just, he's right there. He's super, super close to being top 20 in the Flow national rankings. And I think we might need to start emailing whoever the guy who does these rankings, because I think he's beaten some of those guys on that list. Also, University of Arkansas Little Rock commit with Justice Zuniga. friend of the pod, our first episode guest ever, and just great kid, fantastic wrestler, and I'm going with Trey Haynes.
Yes,
Arlington
I
High.
told you it was a layup.
It wasn't a layup for me, man. I was between two guys there, and man, Trey, like people think that like this is like the Trey show, but it's dude, Trey is a highlight machine, bro. Like that
We
guy.
got him on the highlight of our intro video, and I think we
Seriously,
still
bro.
owe him
Like
like
it's like
$100.
you can't not talk about him, and it's like the guy. He's so flashy. He's a let it fly type of wrestler. Once he gets in that little ollie shuffle that he gets going, the only ding that I probably have on Trey, and I love you, Trey. I just talked to you yesterday, but we were both talking about this at the state tournament against Isaac Gianigi, and I think Trey would probably agree with us that I don't think he didn't wrestle his best match. He just didn't really go for it the way that maybe he should have. And that's, again, no knock on Isaac Gianigi. Gianigi is a stout wrestler, fantastic wrestler. But he had to go into overtime to get that win, and a win is a win. So he got it done. And sometimes you just have to wrestle your match and get the dub, and that's what he did in the state finals this year to get his third in a row. He's going for 4 this upcoming season. But the tipping point for me, I think, was duels. He didn't make the all tournament team for junior duels, but he was a leader on that team. I think he went like 6-1 in Greco. Pretty sure he had a good showing in freestyle. And then when it comes to the Washington stage, like nobody's really touching him. So Trey Haynes, man, one of the most fun wrestlers to watch when it comes to like flying squirrels and doing crazy moves, and the explosiveness that he has, the speed that he has is just insane. And excited to watch him for one more season coming up. I'm glad that we started this just in time to get a couple years worth of coverage on Trey. But yeah, I got to go with the boy Haynes there. Give me your thoughts on him.
Oh, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. One of the most respectful, kind people out there, comes from a good family, wrestles for a good set of coaches. The coaches love him, all the way through his club team. We love him. I mean, obviously, we love Trey. And he's so accessible for us because he's right in our backyard.
Right.
Now people can't call us homers because he wasn't number 1 overall pick, but and maybe that's why he wasn't, just because we had to push him down the list, or else we'd be called homers. No, but okay. It seems like we're dogging on him a little bit because I think he has every bit, again, the opportunity to be number 2 or top 3. We have questions here. Side note: are neither of the Lundquist boys on here? I don't know. You'll have to stay tuned to watch out. You can't ask about the top 5 yet. We haven't even gotten there. But Trey Haynes. Here's why I couldn't rank him top 2, top 3. It's the quality wins and the win in the state finals, like you mentioned. So it could be one of these things. It could be the fact that Trey is so much better than his competition that he can't look good, because it may just be that he's so far ahead. It's like when you play chess against somebody and they could be just dog water at chess, but they end up getting a leverage over you because you're used to wrestling such top competition that you are so drastically apart from the guy you're wrestling that maybe that's what actually keeps him in the match a little bit. Maybe you're just not able to wrestle your style, and it just becomes a point where he's just not invested in it. I don't know. Trey, if you've ever seen Trey, he is nowhere near his peak. And I don't mean that
I
in
totally
a sense,
agree with that.
Yeah, I don't mean that in a negative sense, but get Trey in a college weightlifting program.
Mm-hmm.
He'll start to fill out his body. Like when you see Trey wrestle 165 pounds, he doesn't look 165 pounds, but yet he has the strength of, he's dominating these upper weight guys when I don't look at him and see that he's a physically imposing upper weight guy. But yet you got guys like Colin Edmonds, who's just a thick brick, and
Yeah.
it's not a competition to him. So Trey, in my opinion, might even wrestle 49 in college. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys where you might get him to college and you either see him go to 94, or up into that just heavy, or he comes down. And I don't really know, because I don't see him wrestling at the weight he's wrestling in high school at all. But a year in a college weightlifting program, to me,
Yeah.
it is everything that's going to help Trey. And then also having Justice there, having your buddy there from home allows, and two dogs that are competing at the top of our state to be able to help you get to where you want to be. I just think it's freaking awesome. And like I said, he's an amazing kid. He's quiet, but yet he's fun. He's got that side to him, so you get him by himself, he's the light of the party. He deserves to be higher on the list.
Probably.
Again, I think you can.
Yeah.
I think you can kind of,
I think we
exchange
just
a
have some
couple
question
things,
marks
guys.
with Trey within the state, because he really hasn't, like if you look at our big board, I'm looking at it right now and I'm looking at the weights and stuff. Like, most of these guys are like within the 20 to 38 range, and then there's Trey at 57. And like, if you look at 4A, 3A, 2A, all the way across the board, it's kind of hard to tell, like, really who is really dominant and good other than Trey above 150. And
Well, I'm about to tell you one right here. Are you ready for my next pick?
yeah, go for it.
Izzy Acosta.
Dang it. Shoot.
So
Great pick.
The problem with Izzy Acosta is he's so quiet. It's like, you talk about a real assassin. Gonzaga prep, coming from, where he was in 2A.
Coleman. Yeah.
Pullman took second as a freshman, but then, something happened with Izzy Acosta that now he is elite. Something happened, and I don't know where he was training. It seems like all of a sudden he went somewhere else and got coached by somewhere else, and then all of a sudden it's
He's
like
a Brian Owen. He's
a
in the
Brian Owen
Northwest.
guy.
Yeah.
And he is absolutely the leader of a Gonzaga prep team that is underdogs for the best team in the state of Washington.
Watch out
right?
for the Bulldogs this year, bro.
But
man.
let's talk about his again, and it feels like he came out of left field. He didn't, but it feels like he did, because he walked right through state. I mean, Dayton Fitzgibbon 15-5, barely allowed Dayton to get anything on him. Dayton will probably tell you, I mean, I outside the injury, he had a very disappointing season this year. But that doesn't change the win. 15-5 against a kid that, maybe wasn't fully healthy, but it's a dominating win. Noah Koyama, who
that one was crazy to me. Not crazy,
10-1, not
10-1
even
was
a
crazy
competition. And let's talk about the way that people talk about Koyama. It's kind of funny, right? Noah Koyama was never on our pound for pound list, never on our top 10. But if you talk to, anyone in the state of Washington, everyone talks
so
about
good,
Noah Koyama.
Yes.
Everyone loves him. He's a great kid. He wrestles so well. Every freaking coach knows about Koyama. And Izzy Acosta comes in there silently with a 15-3 record and just walks him 10-1 in the finals. Someone take Ryder Owen. Yeah, it's a deep cut. I mean, Gonzaga prep. The thing about these freshmen is you got to give them a second to kind of breathe, because you just don't know. But I'll tell you what, we are the preeminent ones ranking these freshman kids. I mean, we were way ahead on Neri Rivas last year, Bryson Dolly, all these young kids. Ryder Owen's definitely on that list. Lots of these freshmen, honestly, are on that list, and a lot of them seem to be at Gonzaga prep somehow. But Izzy Acosta, team leader for one of the nastiest teams, one of the most untouched wrestlers in the state. And this is, a year for him that
Yeah.
could cement his legacy, because
Yes.
if you see it, and I promise you're gonna see it this year, if because he was injured, something happened, right? Or maybe there was a transfer issue or something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
only
remember.
wrestled like 15 matches or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Something happened. He came in, and then it went. So this year, assuming he's healthy, assuming everything goes his way, watch him to be untouched all year long. So it's going to be kind of one of those things where he's at 44, Trey's at 57. There's a difference in size there, but I don't see Trey going up too much. Izzy probably goes up. I'd like to see him go hunt out a Trey Haynes at Tri-State or something like that, and give us one of these matches, because I think he's not disrespected to us, but definitely in the community, not a lot of people talk about Izzy Acosta.
Yeah. I think we had the live stream podcast at the Tacoma Dome, which we'll be back there doing that again on the Thursday, or it was the Wednesday before the tournament starts. WIAA was kind enough to let us do that, and I think it'll be even better next year. But what we were doing was we were kind of previewing some of like the most contentious weight classes, and we could not stop talking about 4A 285 and 4A 144, and we were looking at Dayton Fitzgibbon, Izzy Acosta. I think Andrew Gray from Battleground was in there too.
Yep, Noah
And
Koyama,
he had
Dayton Johnson.
Dayton Johnson, but like that weight class was so deep. And then you got Izzy like literally running through it. I mean, I like that was it. I wasn't, again, I wasn't shocked, but I was pleasantly surprised to see how well he wrestled. And it's a testament to BO and the coaching out there in Spokane, and Izzy, showing up and showing that he can do it at the 4A level, and in a super deep weight class. I think if you asked him about duels, he'd probably say that he didn't perform as well as that he probably expected. But when it comes to folk style, man, like you watch the film on Izzy, he's a dog in all three positions, and gosh, yeah, get him for another year too. It's going to be super exciting to watch, to see what he can do. And yeah, like you said,
the senior class here is awesome.
To solidify his legacy, I think, yeah, this is another year for him to kind of show us. Kind of reminds me of like a Trevor Hall from Battleground, where his senior season comes out, and there's a couple dings. He didn't win it his freshman year, but you got a guy like Izzy who's probably going to go out there and do even more than he did in the season before. So love the pick, Matt. So I'm up.
Okay, this is your last pick. But
this is my last pick.
Yep.
And this is where this is like, if you guys ever do like fantasy football drafts, this is where like you make your money, right? Like later on in the rounds and stuff. And I wish we had more time and we could do 6, 7, 8 picks, but we got 5, and so I have to pick one more. And I'm torn between 2 wrestlers right now, but I think I'm gonna go with the one that has shown me that he can do it against other wrestlers who are ranked higher nationally right now, and undefeated last season. Didn't get a chance to wrestle at state, and that's kind of the giveaway. But I'm gonna go with Bryson Dolly from Tahoma. Man, huge storyline last year when he wasn't wrestling at state, and we talked about it in our review, our high school season review podcast that we had right after state, and it was a very hot topic. We wanted to give Bryson the respect that he deserves for going through whatever he went through and everything, but he deserves to be on this list still. He was in our pound for pound top wrestlers throughout the season. Just because he didn't wrestle at state, that's not a ding to me at all. We know what Bryson was going to be able to do at state. He had already shown us what he could do as a freshman. Didn't lose an didn't lose a single match. He goes out and wrestles Arcadius Cruz 2 or 3 times. Who Arcadius Cruz just had a fantastic national duels, one of the best wrestlers in the duels a month ago or a few weeks ago. And Bryson goes and wins handedly against him multiple times. And also, like, he's beaten Braden Wenrick from Pennsylvania. He's beaten super high level wrestlers across the country. And if he finds the right spot, if he finds the right weight to be at this year, where he's comfortable, where Coach Feist has him humming, I think that Bryson Dolly is going to show us a completely dominant season, a repeat dominant season that he had last year. And I mean, just a dog. And this goes back to Trevor Anderson, one of the scariest wrestlers on top, right? I mean, that guy, when he is on top, he is head down, and he is going to make you work to get out. And good luck if you're on bottom against Bryson Dolly. So yeah, man, another Tahoma guy on the board. We're not Tahoma homers here, but I got to go with Bryson, man. He showed us what he could do as a freshman last year, and bummed that we didn't get to see him at state. But let's run it back and see what you can do again this year, Bryson.
The thing about Bryson, because we all know that these kids have been competing against each other for a very long time. It's no secret that you name 5 names on this list that they've wrestled each other 100 times. Okay, by the time they've gotten here. So I look at some of these matches, and you can watch it back. Go watch it back. The Hoyt Harshman match, I think we have live from the Viking Invite Finals. We have the Arcadius.
That was his closest match of the whole season.
But let me tell you why. I think because Bryson didn't wrestle like, again, no disrespect to Hoyt. I love Hoyt. He's actually one of my favorite guys in the whole entire world. After last year, his dad as well as the whole Sumner team.
For sure.
I don't think Bryson wrestled that match as anything other than a fun wrestling match. You could see that he went out there and he was intentionally funky every second of the match. And I just think he's wrestled Hoyt so much that it's just another day on the mat with him. I don't think he was out there to win the match necessarily in any other fashion than just going out there and being funky the whole time. And he kind of, I feel like
you were there. I wasn't, and I don't think I even watched it back. I just saw the result. I think it was like 5-0 or something like that.
So it was incredible. I mean, it's just it's an art form that Bryson has. We will be reaching out to Bryson to get him on the podcast to describe the story. I would assume that he is a fan of the podcast, considering the conversations we've had with the kid, to give him a chance to say his, hey, Trey, what's going on, big guy?
Yo.
You are going to be so mad with where Sam selected you. It's unreal.
I'm the one who picked him.
It's just, but you picked him fucking 10th, basically. You don't want to watch it back, Trey. It's real bad. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to flip this entire okay. Trey, you're going to have to talk to Sam about this one. Make it a personal phone call after the fact, because, he really did you dirty. It just was unreal, really. But I am going to allow a point in this because Sam, just going to let you guys know, and all the viewers, I am picking a girl as my last.
No, you can't. We're gonna do a girls one.
No, I'm gonna pick a girl here because we said this was Washington wrestlers. We didn't say this had to be.
Wait, hold on. The girls deserve their own.
I want a girl to be on this list, okay? And I get to. It's my team, and I need to defeat you.
So what are we gonna do in the girls app?
Then we can continue the talk, okay? But I'm out here to win this pound for pound duel, team v team.
Libby Roberts graduated, bro.
Trevor, throw it up. if you got it, because I want to take a look at the teams here. Okay, I need to take a win here. We have Sam's got Justice, Laz McEwen, Trevor Anderson, Trey Haynes, a very disrespectful fourth, if you ask me, and then Bryson Dolly on 5. I got Caesar Quintanilla, Owen Marshall,
Dude.
Mason DeRocher,
Let the people vote already. It's
Izzy
over.
Acosta. Okay, so for
God,
my
this is a
number
bag.
5, the Trey, I
I
couldn't
got Trey
pick
at
you.
4, bro.
Trey, I couldn't pick you. Sam picked you at a very disrespectful 4. It was unreal. I mean, it was gonna be there too. It's wild. I got Maisie Elliott here, number 5 on my team, and I'm gonna get the entirety of the female nation behind me here, Maisie Elliott. But Sam, you got to tell us what
You're
school.
desperate.
I'm going to take the win here because we're going to have this be voted on. And when people see Maisie's name, they're going to pump the like button for me. Maisie Elliott, here's the thing. We're talking about pound for pound. She is 88 pounds. Okay.
You're cheating, bro.
Not only is there, okay, Sam, what high school do we factor that she's going to be heading out to again?
I don't know if it's allowed to be publicly.
Okay, maybe we won't
yet.
list where she's going, but at 88 pounds, not only is there not a single wrestler in the state of Washington that could come up and defeat her, there's not very many 88 pounders in the world that can really compete with Maisie. Now, Maisie did go up. Now, the other problem I have is 105, I believe, is the smallest weight class for the girls. So
no, it's 100.
100. Okay, so we still have a 12-pound differential, which is over 10% of Maisie's body weight, just so that she can start wrestling in high school. Okay, I believe that it's going to take her some time to be able to effectively get into that weight with a couple of the wrestlers there. But at 88 pounds,
you're literally hijacking this draft. This is what you're doing right now. This is
I am. I absolutely am. And I am not going to apologize for you picking Trey 4th. I'm just not going to be the one apologizing for that. Maisie Elliott, okay, is my number 5. Now, Sam, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one honorable mention each person, and I'm going to start with mine. The movie star, Adrian Windsor, would have been my next guy had I selected a male. Silas wrestler. My big thing is between Laz and Adrian. That's what's pushing Adrian down a little bit for me because not that I don't think Adrian could beat Laz or it would be a good match or whatever. Like, I don't know. I would love to see it. But Laz has cemented himself at the weight class, being on the national scene. I know that Adrian is at 120, I think, and wrestled 120. But I do believe his frame could probably allow him to get back down. To maybe find that, I think Laz could maybe go and find Adrian Windsor and maybe we could see what would happen. But Adrian Windsor walked through the state tournament last year. He had a small injury. I believe it was an ankle injury. It was a rib injury, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. He ended up coming back a little later than he probably wanted to. Wrestled at 120, was still not touched. Doesn't look like a 120 pounder. Coming at 113 pounds and went through the tournament. Noriega, 41-1 senior. You have Windsor, 40-0 freshman, and he pinned the kid with I believe it was with his signature armbar. Yeah. And okay, hold on. Mom's in the chat. He will not.
Oh man. Yeah.
Come on, Mom. Not even to wrestle Laz McEwen. I mean, maybe there could be a catch weight here, but it was a knee injury. But she says no. Oh, Sean Dolly. No one in the state will beat Adrian. by Sean Dolly. That's a solid list. All great kids. They're going to do some amazing things. Some comments here. Sean Dolly, thanks for joining. Bryson just got picked here. Backdoor. Sam told me he wanted to pick Bryson ahead of Trey, but just that's what I heard. But Adrian Windsor is my honorable mention. Sam, you get one honorable mention.
Okay, I love that. I probably would have gone with Adrian there too. My next pick for my honorable mention pick, I'm looking at the board right now and I'm torn between three, but I gotta go with my guy Tavar Lee out of Lincoln. And the only ding that he has is I believe he lost to Mason DeRocher. I think I'm not sure. Anyways, Tavar had the best gut check tournament that I've ever seen anybody wrestle. That last gut check tournament that we went to, incredible upsets. Shout out to Zach Motzkis as well from Southwest Washington Wrestling Club. That guy just beat a Fargo national champion. I think Tavar had beaten him in the finals there. Tavar is just.
Tavar was my next guy too, by the way.
Yeah, man. Like oh man, his technique is so nice, man. It's so clean. His goal behinds are insane. And he was on the dual team as well. And just a fantastic kid, and had a fantastic season. Excited to see what he's able to do. He goes and gets it done against a returning state champion and Aiden Larson last year in the state finals, which he got it done 1-0, slim margin.
I mean, Aiden Larson's a brick house, dude. It's
Aiden
not
Larson's
easy to
tough,
score
bro.
on him.
Yes, dude. And Tavar got it done. And he's one of those guys that at the beginning of the season you weren't really sure, getting second in the state the year before, but slowly started creeping his way up. He got a win against Jonas DeRochers at gut check. And win state in one of the toughest weight classes in 3A, right, Matt? Like he showed us he earned that spot on the dual team for sure by the way that he wrestled throughout the high school season. And man, one more year, two more, we got him for 2 more years. I'm not sure if he's a junior or senior, but dude, he's a dog, man. And I would say he's the head of that Lincoln team for sure. And older sis is wrestling at Evergreen, so he's got good bloodlines there, and just a guy that is kind of like one of those fringy top 10 guys, but you never know with Tavar, man. What we saw with him last season, having some really, really huge wins in big moments, dominating wins too in big moments, to where he started bumping himself up, and he kind of seems like he's like one of those wrestlers that's just trending up, like slowly but surely. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tavar is like close to the top 10 or close to the top 5 by the end of the season next year. So
yeah, the thing about Tavar and maybe the whole Lincoln squad as well is they're just so good pretty much everywhere. And they're one of the ones that I just fight for us getting to see, because I'd like to go ahead and try to get to a duel. But what duel? I mean, everybody talks about Lincoln and Silas. Which is great, but Silas, I mean,
they'll be a little down this year. Yeah.
They, even with Emmanuel Cater, they had a couple, they have a good squad. I'm not saying they don't have a good squad, but it's just like they don't have the hitters that Lincoln has. So I'd like to see Lincoln try to go out there and get a dual meet that we may be able to come to be able to watch. But that was our fantasy draft that we put on. We really appreciate you guys for tuning in. There we go. Honorable mentions on the list. We're going to add that in. This is what's going to happen. We're going to post this list to social media, and we are going to, here we go. Tavar's going to keep surprising people, and he will. He absolutely will. He's top 12, top 11 in the nation, or in our pound for pound right now rankings, because I slipped Maisie in for the win. Maisie's going to get me the win, but we are going to find out how we can vote on this. Maybe we will have one, comment for my team, like the post for Sam's team, and we will see what we could get as far as votes on this thing. But Sam, that was a really fun time. I love super talking fun about these guys. this podcast right here was one that we needed to get to last year that we didn't. The pound for pound discussion is absolutely one of the most preeminent things that we do this at Washington Wrestling Network, and this right here was a fun podcast that you should, barring the issues with my audio at the beginning of the podcast. Sorry about that, but Sam, I'm going to need you to actually close us out on your end because I'm not in there and can't do it. But
Oh, you're good, dude. I'll take it from here. Chime in as you need on your phone there, but I'm glad that we got Matt back and we were able to do the draft. Super fun. A couple more honorable mentions and stuff that we just did. What?
Whoa,
You
we
want to
should
do that?
throw some more honorable mentions.
I'm just giving out some names that maybe people wanted to hear. Or did we just cut it off?
We can grow the conversation into the
preseason.
Okay,
There we go. If you feel like you were snubbed or somebody got snubbed, we didn't talk about them, put it in the comments, go watch it back, tell us how horrible we are. All that kind of stuff.
Also, if you are from Hermiston, Sam clearly doesn't like to select anybody from Hermiston, and tell him about it, okay? Because there might be something there. I'm not sure.
I love the Bulldogs.
Here's the comment right here. Jeremy Weiland just created top 10. We do create a top 10. Actually, we'll probably create a top 15, top 20 right before the season goes. Yep. If people want us to keep going, Sam, to all the way through the top 10, I mean, we can't do it. We need a little more juice for you guys to tune back in. Having Trey make Sam win automatically, it's absolutely disrespectful where Trey Haynes was on your list, Sam. I just can't believe it. But Sam, go ahead. Get us out of here.
I mean, just to piggyback off that, our first year, you guys, thanks for riding with us and going through all the hiccups. There will be more hiccups. We're Matt can't even stay connected in a podcast after a year and a half. So there's going to be stuff that we can't, fulfill. But we're not going to try and make promises. We just want to let you guys know that we're going to try and grow. We're going to try and do as much as we can. We are super excited about getting out to dual meets this year. Like we said, east of the mountains, girls duels. We want you guys to give us the feedback and let us know. Thank you for everybody who commented on our Instagram poll or a question that we put on Instagram about where we should go. That's kind of the idea is WWN is going to show up to a duel, and we want to pack the house. We want to live stream that event and get out to some of the most contentious and highly regarded duel meets of the season. So those are the stuff to be on the lookout for this upcoming season. In the short term, Fargo's coming up. We will be trying to track that and follow that as much as we can. We know that there's a ton of wrestlers that are going to be there, but posting some updates, posting some clips. I don't think we're going to have a rep out there this year. Hopefully next year, getting some interviews and highlights and all that, just like we did with the U.S. Open.
We might.
But again, that's what we're trying to work towards. And it's all because of you guys. It's because of your support, the people who are in this community supporting us, supporting what we do. We're working, you guys. That's what we're going to try to do is to continue to work and to grow this platform, which will in turn grow the sport. And I'm ecstatic about this upcoming high school season. Quick side note, next week, Thursday, we're going to come back with another draft. It's a surprise. We got surprise guests. We got a surprise category to pick. Matt and I were just talking about it last night, and we're already sharing some ideas about it. It's going to be a super fun episode again. So next week, Thursday, tune in with us as we bring in a couple surprise guests and have another draft that is going to be a little bit more fun and a little bit more subjective on your opinion. So yeah, man, that's kind of all I got. What about you, brother?
Nope. Send us home.
All right. Well, hey, Matt, he's back. He's live and he's good and he's on his phone. But with the draft complete, we're going to end this podcast, and we thank you guys for tuning in. And once we put the Instagram edit up on our Instagram, go ahead and give us a vote. Tell us who had the best team, and we will see you guys next time.
4, 3, 1.